Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another interview of a fabulous business owner right here in Durham. I'm so proud to bring today Akili Hester of Hayti Barbershop, just right across from the Hayti Center on Fayetteville
Street. Yeah,
it is great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Say hey to the people.
How y'all doing out there?
All right, so I ask all my people that I interview 3 basic questions.
Okay.
And the first question I ask is, what is a myth you want to bust?
I think the barber industry as a whole, I think a lot of people don't think that it's like a career that you can like take care of your whole family and stuff like that. I guess 'cause we don't go to college and stuff like that. It's like a trade school. But if you look at the prices of the haircuts now, barbers are making, in the industry, are making well over like either close to or over 100,000 a year now. So like, for anybody who's thinking about getting into the hair industry, it's a lot of money in the hair industry, and it's probably good to pay attention to how things are changing.
And how much school debt did you end up with?
Not a lot, actually. I think another myth too is the fact that barber school has Pell Grants. A lot of people don't know that. You think you have to pay everything out of pocket, but just like you go to school and you get money from the government, the same thing with barber school. So it depends on how much money you made the year before, they might pay for your whole schooling.
Wow. How long have you been in the industry?
I would say like 14, 15 years.
So have you seen the price of haircuts go up?
Oh yeah, from like $7 to now we're like $40 on haircuts. So it's a big difference.
That's not all profit because
no.
it costs more too.
Yeah, and then the cost of living goes up, but it's still a lot better. It's still pretty good, because if you think about, let's say you think about the average haircut, it might take you 30 minutes. Let's say you're getting paid $40 for one haircut. That means in an hour, depending on how you're booked up, you can make $80 an hour.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, especially without a degree.
Trade school, I think, is finding its popularity.
Yeah, it needs to. Everybody's not built for college, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about, is sometimes these kids are not built for college. They might need to be a plumber or electrician or a barber.
And we need those.
Oh, 100%. That's the backbone of society. Like that doesn't, if you don't have a plumber or electrician or someone to build your home, then where are you going to live?
And we can see how important barbers are after the pandemic, and people came out and they had tried to do it themselves. Ooh, scary. All right, moving on.
I see a lot of people say taper. They'll say taper around my head, but a taper is only for like the temple, like a temple taper. So it's a blend right here by your temple, and it's a blend in the back of the neck. But a lot of people, I notice they say, give me a taper around my head. If the blend goes around your head, that means it's a fade.
A fade?
Yeah, so the difference between a fade and a taper is only faded here and on the back of the neck, and a fade goes around your whole head. So that's the difference between a taper and a fade.
That is important to know that term.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people get that wrong.
Is there another term that you help us with?
I would say like with the grain or against the grain. A lot of people that are into waves, called wavers, they always want you to cut like with the grain. So that's something that you should know if you're really into waves and you want to keep your hair a little bit longer and darker, that you want to cut it with the grain. Because if someone cuts it against the grain, it'll cut it a lot lower and a lot even. And sometimes with certain hair patterns, it can cut their waves out. One thing is, you always get the best haircut when you wash your hair and shampoo it before you come to the barbershop, and don't put any product in it. Because when you put product in your hair, it weighs it down, and actually the grease and the product can actually clog the clippers, which actually makes it harder to give you a good quality haircut. Sometimes different hair textures, kinky curly, let's say we're talking about African Americans, kinky curly hair, people sometimes think they're supposed to wash their hair every day. Most of the time, like Caucasians their hair could be a little bit more oily. Therefore, they can wash their hair every day. But if a person that has kinky curly hair that's African American washes their hair every day, they're going to dry their scalp out. And they're actually going to end up getting dandruff. So one thing, if you have kinky curly hair, African American descent, you maybe want to wash your hair every 3 to 4 days, or it could dry your scalp out. The last thing I would say is the best time to moisturize your hair is when you're fresh out the shower and your hair is damp from washing. That's the best time. You don't want to let your hair get dry, because then it'll dry your whole scalp out. But while it's moist is the best time to moisturize your hair.
You've been in Durham a long time.
Oh yeah.
What do you love about Durham?
I love the fact that I'm from here. I'm 42, been here 42 years, and I love the fact that I can leave my home and be out in the community and always see somebody I know. Also, I think it's amazing to come come up with somebody that you went to elementary school or middle school, and to see them out in the community with their family, see them doing great things. Like, I'm always amazed by those things. It's funny to see your community grow as you grow.
Have you lived in the same part of Durham the whole time?
I've actually lived on a lot of different sides of Durham, but I've been on this side of Durham for a very long time. My father actually created this shopping center and the one across the street. So the one across the street, which is Phoenix Square, he built that when I was in elementary school, and he built Phoenix Crossing that my shop is in now. He built this when I was in probably like 8th grade. So that's one big thing. This part of town has been a big deal for my family for a very long time. Even as a kid, he had a shoe repair shop across the street. I used to shine shoes, clean parking lots. I done cut the grass out here. Like, this area on South Side has been a big part of my family for a long time.
You are home.
Oh yeah, and my sister has a restaurant at the end of the block called Nzinga's Kitchen. So I mean, my family is here, and a lot of people on my dad's side of the family are business owners.
Have you ever heard the expression, keep it dirty, Durham?
I've never heard that before. I don't know, maybe somebody needs to mop or sweep or something, I don't know, or clean their windows.
What I picked up from people is that they like that it's not clean cut, that it's artsy.
Oh yeah,
it's, you know, not rough, but
like raw maybe. And I'm not sure why this just made me think of this. It made me think about the incident that happened a couple years back when they said the Klan was coming to Durham, and I was there. I remember leaving my shop and closing up and going downtown, and they said the Klan was gonna be marching downtown. When I got there, the streets were packed with people from Durham that wasn't gonna have it. I don't know, for some reason that phrase, keep it dirty Durham, like, to the point when it came down to it, like, everybody was willing to come together and to stop something that represents something negative being able to come through our streets. If I was to think about keep it dirty Durham, I would think about that instance. And I think by later on that night, I remember the news had like a helicopter angle, and it was like 5,000 people in the streets there to protect their city and say that, you know, that negativity has no place here. So I would think if I was going to use that phrase, that would be keep it dirty Durham.
Yes, I love that. What a great story too.
Yeah, there's an app called The Cut. You can book with me on The Cut, or just look me up as Akili the Bull. The Akili the Bull is actually my nickname. That's what they call me. If you Google Hayti Barbershop, the number that pops up under that listing is actually my cell phone number. So you can either send a text message or a phone call to book. We take walk-ins Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So even if you don't have an appointment, you can walk in. And then on Instagram, Akili the Bull on Instagram, you can reach out to DM me there, or on Facebook, and contact me to make an application.
Any final words you have for our people out there?
Greatness is inside of us all. Sometimes take the time to separate yourself from the crowd to find the greatness in you that you can share with the rest of the world. There's something amazing gift in all of us to give, but sometimes you have to take time to search for it inside of you.
That is a great word. And if that is your attitude and people come here, they will leave inspired and looking better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
And let me say one thing too, and I don't know why I forgot to say this. Find something that inspires you. And one thing quick that inspired me, John Merrick. John Merrick was one of the founders of Black Wall Street in Durham. Also, North Carolina Mutual was the largest black-owned business in the United States at one time. The biggest thing about the situation that I aligned myself with this man, this black man from this area called John Merrick, is because John Merrick was also a barber. So no matter what you're into, or no matter what you do, you also can do something big and amazing. Just because I'm a barber doesn't stop me from anything. This man was a barber, and he had the largest black-owned insurance business in the United States at one time. So that's somebody I align myself with, and you should always try to find someone to align yourself with.
Well, you're going to be involved in a community event too. So.
Oh yeah. To me, mental health is big here in the community. I'm doing an event for mental health, men in mental health. Sometimes a lot of guys don't feel comfortable talking about stuff like that. In the barbershop they will, because I'm an open person. So I think setting that example, people will talk here. But I just want to push more men to get therapy, more black people, more men of color to get therapy, because I think a lot of us come from a lot of trauma. And if we don't deal with this trauma, it plays out in our relationships with the rest of the world.
You just pass it on. It doesn't ever go away.
Oh, 100%. And you relive trauma through different people. subconsciously without even knowing it. Like one word I would leave you with that I hope that you guys can Google it is codependency. Codependency runs rampant. And when I figured out what codependency was and I started doing the work to come up out of it, like my whole life changed.
Thank you so much, Akili, for sharing today.
No problem.
You're an awesome community member and business owner and an asset to this area. Thank you for sharing yourself and your business with us today.
And thank you for coming. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. This is Dia Irby, your favorite realtor, by your side all the way. Until next time, bye now.
Appreciate it.